All right. So today is page 8 notes. We're starting with energy. So we kind of already covered ecosystems. What is an ecosystem? What are they made of? Now we're going to talk about how the energy is moved through the ecosystem. So energy allows ecosystems to function on many levels, meaning the smallest planktons are like little tiny things floating in water, to the largest mammals. Everything needs energy. You need energy to think. You need energy to move. Okay, when you're not having energy, that's when you're tired. That's when you don't feel good. That's why when you're sick a lot of times, you don't always eat that much and you don't have energy. And that's why parents tell you you need to eat. You know, got to try to keep something down so that you build your energy back up. The original source of energy is the sun. This is how it is always obtained. Cannot get it from anything else. Originally. So all energy comes from the sun, and then it gets processed. The way we do that is by producers. So remember, we are not producers. I can't go stand out in the sun and go, okay, I'm ready to get some energy. Not going to work. So the things that make their own energy are called producers. They're using the sunlight or the chemicals from the sunlight to make food, which is then transferred into a chemical energy. We do this through the process of photosynthesis and respiration. Remember, they're going to talk about photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is taking the sunlight, the carbon dioxide, and the water, making sugar that we use as food, and oxygen that's released in the atmosphere. So sunlight, carbon, we're breathing it out. Water, they're pulling up through their roots. We talked about this in plant unit. Yeah. Okay. And oxygen, we need it to live. Plants, phytoplankton, and algae are 3 things that do that. If you're like me, you go, okay, but wait, what's phytoplankton? Phytoplankton. So you can see in these pictures, it's these little tiny microbes that are in the ocean. They say it's in the seas, freshwater basins. The name comes from the Greek word that, meaning plant, and the Greek word that, meaning wanderer or drifter. So they're things that just kind of float in the ocean. So fun little thing to learn today. All right, back to our notes. All right, these organisms are also called autotrophs. Remember, auto means self, troph means food, self, food. They're creating their own food. They're producers, just another name for it. Producers make their own food. Autotrophs make their own food. They're the same thing. They're always the bottom, the first thing of the food chain, or the bottom of the food web. They're important for making our oxygen. Without them, we would die. We don't have oxygen. They're the things creating it. Without plants going through the process of photosynthesis, we don't have oxygen. We did. Okay, this is how it occurs. You have respiration and metabolism. Respiration is breathing. We call it cellular respiration in plants because skin cells, hair cells, everything has cells. And when the organisms use the food, so you eat the food, and your cells have to process this food, and it goes into cellular respiration. They use chemical reactions to process this food. So breathe in the oxygen, and it goes into your lungs, and goes to the rest of your body, and it gets helped to break down the sugars that you've eaten from the food. So, whether you've had an apple or you've had a bag of chips, there's energy in it. Different types of energy. One is definitely better for you. So sugar then releases the energy through that chemical reaction, and it also releases that carbon dioxide in our body. That travels back through the bloodstream into our lungs to come out as we breathe. This is done by animals and humans. We're called heterotrophs, which means other food, air consumers. It may occur without oxygen. Okay, it's anaerobic. An means non, aerobic means oxygen, and then bacteria. So anaerobic bacteria, hold on, y'all. Here, anaerobic bacteria is bacteria that do not live or grow when oxygen is present. In humans, these bacteria are most commonly found in our gastrointestinal tract. That means in our stomach. And And they play, like, if you're not feeling good, they can play in a role of appendix, diverticulitis, or not feeling good, go to the bathroom. All right. There are 2 questions on page 8 that I need you to answer. Where do you get your energy, and how do you use energy on a daily basis? You need to have those filled out, and we'll be talking about them in class. All right. Have a great day.